Welcome, football fans and USFL fans alike, to the USFL Authority, your best show for news, for debates, for hot takes, for insider information. We got it for you. As always, your hosts are me, Ace, and my bestie over there, Webb. Webb, what's the news this week, my man?
Oh, we had a giant week, but before we move on, remember KB's now on camera.
So,
we got a moderator. We got a moderator.
Yes. Everybody, if you see the little black box below us, that is our producer, KB. She's down there. She's going to throw her hot takes in here and there whenever she wants to. She's a wild card. So, yes, we are adding things, adding people in. She's always been here just in the background. KB, does all our the intros, the segues into different segments, bringing up the little tickers on the bottom that have, what our ride and dies are and stuff. That's all her. So we thought, you know what? She needs to be able to say her opinion. So
Exactly.
Very excited about it.
Moving on to the news. So growing up, I always was very fond of my grandmother. I know you're not expecting me to go, one of these family stories.
Yeah.
But she always said, if it's done twice, then it's nice. This week, the uniforms, 2 teams released their uniforms. What are your takes?
That was what a random story that led into. I did not think we were doing that. Okay. So we had the Maulers uniforms and the Showboats uniforms drop. To be completely honest, the Maulers were exactly what we thought, right? I've been doing edits, mock-ups the whole time. They were right. They were exactly right. It's literally just the Maulers uniform from last season. Swap the colors. For orange, it's yellow, gold, and for purple, it's black. I like it. I think it works. Now, what was a big letdown was the Showboats, which kind of just looked like a rehashing of the Maulers with a little difference on the shoulders. And for a helmet that was so cool, I feel like they just kind of dropped the ball on the uniform itself.
Without a doubt. The whole neck thing here where it stops, it was very weird to me. I
don't like it.
I think it's dedicated to like a captain's uniform, like a sailor
cool.
captain's uniform. Yeah, we're here with the neck in here. I wasn't a big fan. Maulers felt like Pittsburgh. As long as the black and gold was in there, I was good with anything. We talked about it last week because we knew it was coming out. It just had to be black and gold. Like you can't do much with black and gold, unless without looking like a bumblebee. Without looking like a bumblebee, you kind of one color has to dominate, and it's going to be black. Obviously, you can't make a gold uniform with a little bit of black. So I think the Maulers won this. They had the better uniform out of the 2, and all they did was just change their colors, and you nailed it perfectly. It was great. I'm sure you remember, but the picture of Boogie from last year where he was kind of like this, like that was spot on. I think you did that day 1. So you've been calling it since day 1.
I did that for the drop itself when they announced that they were changing the colors. I did the mock-ups of the first one was Jalen McCleskey, and that one's so cool because it also changed the color of his visor from orange to yellow. It was super cool. The Boogie one looks vibrant, looks great, and we can still use them because they look exactly like they're going to look, except Boogie changed his number. So I love it. I think it's cool. Honestly, I think if we were going pure helmets, the Showboats win. That helmet is beautiful.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Navy with the spike, with the Showboats on the side, yellow face mask. Every time I see a picture of it, I'm like, man, that is a cool helmet. I think the helmet's super good. It's better. The uniform's just a letdown. It is an absolute letdown. Showboats, Showtime, supposed to be out there big, and they just played it so safe, and that's what I didn't like. I know that there's not, these uniforms aren't Nike. They're not Under Armour. They're not Air Jordan. But you can do something. You can do something a little more interesting. So I was let down about.
I think the best part of the uniform was the colors, man. It was different.
Yeah.
It was the blue and the yellow, and it just popped. But I think the design left a little bit to the imagination. But
it left a lot to be desired.
So going back to my grandmother's story, if you've done it twice, it is nice. The Maulers this week, 2 times called up their college draft. They relied on college picks today. C.J. Turner, the wide receiver from southeastern Louisiana, and earlier
Traquan Dorsey.
Traquan Dorsey from St. Francis, PA. Your take. Everyone's heard my take because I love this team, obviously. Your take.
I think it's great. I think it shows that the Maulers had a vision going into the draft, right? The Gamblers and the Maulers, those are the two drafts we know about the most because we've talked to the guys who drafted. The Gamblers, they drafted players that they think they could get in a season or two. The Maulers went for guys that they think they can get now and that could become staples of the USFL. And they did it perfectly because they already have two in camp. So exactly what they were going for, they got. It works well. You want to have guys from the draft in the league. It gets people excited. It shows that the draft means more than just, oh, if these guys ever decide to join. Two guys have now decided to join. So that is a big thing. It looks great for the draft, and it looks great for the Maulers.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more. I'm looking forward to seeing guys from other teams get added and see, especially the quarterbacks, right? A couple quarterbacks. You guys got a quarterback. It would be great to see Chase Bryce in a Gambler's uniform if the position becomes open. So,
yeah, it would be super great. I don't know if he would fit the scheme super well now, but I would love to see Chase Bryce eventually in a Gambler's helmet. My personal favorite helmet. I love just the black. I would love a stripe. Where is it? Oh, always got to get a little helmet. If I could get the red stripe, that would be perfect. That'd be perfect. But just the G unit, love it.
Jim Kelly. That every time I see that, it's just Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly.
Yeah,
I agree.
Another big event was the youth camps.
Yes,
it was great for the league to be in the communities of these 4 hubs, and I hope they expand this and they do this more frequently. But the whole league had an off day, and every team participated in a camp. You guys participated with the boats. I'm talking about the Gamblers. Your take. Go for it.
I think it's a fantastic way to do outreach into the community to get fans, right? Because the Showboats, they're brand new in Memphis. This is not only are they a brand new team to the league, they're brand new in the hub, they're brand new in the area. Memphis wasn't a USFL place last season because there was nothing for it. Now, not only do they have a team, they have a hub. So it was a great way to get kids, to get young fans, to get families to come in. And that's how you get people to show up to the games, right? It feels accessible and they say, oh, we should definitely go watch those games. The same for Canton, that they had the championship there. Now they have, a youth camp. They're doing more outreach. They're building on what they already had for the playoffs and championship. Michigan, I don't know whatever you do in Michigan, you're going to get people. Those guys are rabid for football. So I think it's an absolute plus. And also it's one of the biggest things for me is that it gave the players a day off and a day to decompress, because when you talk to these players, they are so locked in. It almost seems like the amount of pressure they're putting on themselves, it's inhumane against them, right? It's just so much pressure. So I like that they got to just play with, some kids on a football field and, do the drills that they're doing, but playfully and really just calm down for a day. I like that.
And the best part is social media followed them. So as fans, we got to connect with them while they're doing something for the communities, and it just grows the brand completely. All different angles there. But what was your favorite part of youth camp? Anything that stands out? Anything you saw?
Yeah, specifically the O-line drills where they did the pancake blocking and they let the kids pancake the 300-pound offensive lineman.
Yeah,
I thought that was just one really, really cute and also just a fun thing to do. But, I want to hear from a mom because this is a youth camp, and I want to hear from someone who has taken kids to youth camps before. KB, what did you think about it?
Oh, I thought it was amazing. And actually, one of our guys just texted me a DM that they got from a parent whose kid
was actually, it this one?
Yep, exactly. I just put it up there.
It says, "What's up, amigo? Next time you interview one of the players or coaches, let them know how much we appreciated the youth skills camp. My son, Sam, attended it on Sunday, and it was great. Both the Breakers and Stallions players were fantastic and real receptive to the young guys. Let me know if you're coming to any of the games, and I'll get you a beverage," is what it says. It says beverage. But that's a fantastic DM. I believe Lowe, our Breakers representative, got that. That's why it was someone who went to the Stallions and Breakers one. KB, what does that DM say to you? What does that mean?
Well, it means that the kids had an amazing experience, right? You've got young kids who get to interact with professional athletes that make them feel amazing and give them something to look forward to, give them something to dream about. They say if you see it, you can believe it, right? So those kids got to be on a professional football field interacting with professional football players, and they could dream that they could see and dream to become that. And that's invaluable for a kid.
I absolutely agree. I miss that dream. Now that I'm older and have had knee surgery and stuff, that dream is gone. But back when I was a kid, that was a cool feeling, and I've been to a couple of football camps and stuff, and it really does mean a lot. So I'm glad that they did it as a league.
The most fun part for me was watching the kids' touchdown dances. They're doing all every single hub had
a lot of gritty.
Yeah. So it was just it's
lot
really cool.
Of gritty.
So much
a lot of gritty.
Hey, can you gritty?
No, I cannot. I am a Vikings fan. Gritty? I cannot gritty.
KB, can you gritty?
Absolutely not.
So we are a gritty-free television show.
Gritty-free zone here. Yeah, no, it's hard. It's much harder than you think.
Yeah,
I can't do any of it.
Yeah, and one of my favorite parts, obviously, following the Maulers, is watching the kid moonwalk. Did you see that on the basketball court?
I missed that one.
The kid was trying to moonwalk across the basketball court because obviously they're at a place that has in the Hall of Fame community a big enough a venue for on a basketball court, and they were just talking to the kids. It didn't look like it was just a big group of kids. It didn't look like there were drills coming on, and the kid just started moonwalking, and they caught on film, and the kid's got a lifelong memory. He's internet famous. Just a great opportunity for the kids of these communities, because the leagues outside of Birmingham, the league is brand new in all the other three communities. So I just think the league needs to continue doing this kind of stuff, and maybe it becomes like a yearly thing where the first day off in the league calendar is Youth Day, and they make it a bigger and bigger deal every year. So
it should absolutely become an annual thing. I think if they didn't, they would be letting the best in life pass them by, because that is a huge thing to do, to have that amount of outreach, to influence young kids in a positive way. There's no downside to it. And it didn't look like they used anything other than the equipment they were already using for practice. Yep. So it's also cheap. So I would definitely keep doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. Everything was there. So, but I'm ready to get hungry. I'm hungry. You ready?
Starving, my man.
It's time. Would you like fries with that? Would you like to upsize your meal?
Do you need any sauce? What kind of soft drink? Does that complete your order?
All right. Authority Burger. Authority Burger, the section where we literally are just ranking things. So like you would rank things on a burger, the meat, the buns, the sides, the condiments, in order of importance. But today we're only ranking two things. We're going to rank our top 4 uniforms in the league and our bottom 4 uniforms in the league. And I feel like we could get a little heated about this, but I'm excited for it. So I want to start with bottom 4 uniforms. Webb, what do you got?
I got the Stars.
Okay.
The Boats, the Generals, and the Gamblers.
Wow, we are one off. I wrote Stars, Boats, Generals, Stallions. I don't love the Stallions. I think that they're a little basic, and I just don't love that, in their logo and stuff, they have a pretty cool tan color, but then when you go to the actual uniform, it comes off as just like a khaki, and there's a lot of it on the uniform. And that color, I do our graphics, right? So I do appreciate the color on the logo, and then when you go look at the actual uniform, it's a little lackluster, and that kind of brought it down for me. So not a big change. The fact that you have the Gamblers at 5 is much better than I expected, and I'm all for it.
It's plain. The logo on the helmet is great.
So
Yeah,
So plain. I'll give you that they are incredibly plain uniforms, which makes jersey swaps easier, but they are plain.
So I was ranking them really. I did 1 through 8, and they were number 5. So they were right there in the middle for me. They just the jersey kind of left a little bit to the imagination. Stars, I rank as the worst uniform. It's just hard to watch, man.
The Hardys, they are. I will say that the away uniform for the Stars, I don't hate. I like the away uniform for the Stars. I think it's okay. I think once you do the full red uniform, ketchup red with the mustard yellow helmet, it just gets tough. Not to say I don't enjoy the Stars, but the uniform, I feel like there could have been better choices made. That's all I'm saying.
Definitely. Generals are kind of boring.
They're super boring.
Yeah, and the boats, I just feel like I was let down this past week. So
I feel like if the boats had been here from the beginning, I might almost have them higher. But the fact that they were so hyped up and then they just fell so flat, that's why I have them as 7. Yeah, we both have them as 7.
Exactly where I have them at 7.
Yes. So then I'll go for the top. For my top, I have number 4 is the Gamblers, 3 Maulers, 2 Breakers, and 1 Panthers. What do you have?
So I have the Maulers at 4, Stallions at 3. So our 3, 4, and 5 are kind of all mixed up there.
Very different. And then what?
Number 2 is the Panthers, and 1 is the Breakers.
Okay. I mean, I was debating whether or not I wanted the Breakers as number 1. I think as it's gone on and the more I watch highlights and stuff, the Breakers helmet, it's almost like it's missing just one thing. I love the wave going around the back, but when you look at it from the front, it just kind of looks like a white helmet, and it's just missing something, and I don't necessarily know what, because I feel like if you did add something, it might not be good, but it's just missing something. I don't know. I'm the graphics guy, and I've stared at these uniforms for so long that I started to move my rankings around. But the Panthers, it's just a really, really good uniform. I love that uniform. And then Maulers 3, Gamblers 4. The Stallions at 3. Why? Why did you have the Stallions?
I like the gold. I don't work with it in graphics. I like the gold.
But it's not gold. It's tan. It's like when
gold. It's a Vegas gold.
When you wear your khaki pants to work, that is the color that is on their helmets. Once you go look at it, it's boring looking.
Well, that's I coach. I coach a basketball team, and that's actually one of our colors, that Vegas gold. So it's black with the Vegas gold. So
Vegas
gold. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the color.
Khaki. I call it Docker's khaki.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's khaki.
It's all right. It's all business for them. That's all right. They can roll with
That's fair. That's fair. It's all good. I wish they would make the helmets. I get that they don't want to make it shiny because then it literally just looks like the same color as the Panthers, right?
Yep.
But I would like it. I don't care. You have so much red in the league. You can't have 2 gold looking helmets. I think that would be cool. I think that would genuinely have jumped them up to, maybe number 3.
The Breakers and Panthers are really close. I wish the Panthers used that blue a little bit more.
I do
rather than the champagne, I think they're calling it, or it's
the champagne silver and the royal plum.
Yeah, the royal plum's fine. I just think the blue would be nice.
The only fan base that specifically uses the right colors every time, and it's a little weird. They're like, I can't wait to see in the royal plum and champagne gold, champagne silver.
Yeah, because it kind of gives that gold feel.
And I'm like, I can't wait to see you in gambler red. That's all I got. I don't know, black and gambler red. It's black and red. It's just there's no colors. Yeah. So they're the only ones who use very specific colors. It's like the Lions. I think they do that too, right? Yeah. They have a specific color.
Yeah, that blue is something different.
It's a Michigan thing.
You talked about the Breakers helmet. I love the Breakers helmet.
I love it. I do love it.
I think the idea is that you're looking into an ocean and the wave, and then it's just a sky. It's just white. It's very plain. It's just an open sky. And I think that's the idea, the concept, probably from the 80s. And they just kind of ran with it. And
they took the 80s helmet and they modernized it. Now, I do appreciate that. But so did the Panthers. And I just kind of like that one better.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, you ready to ride or die?
I'm ready.
All right.
We do it every time. I love guitar. Ride or die. So Webb and I each pick something that we ride with this week and that we die with this week. If we ride with it, we like it. If we die with it, we could do without it. All right. So Webb, what's your ride?
All right. So if you watch the Super Bowl, there's a pregame commercial with Boogie Roberts in it, and he was singing "Stay" by Rihanna.
I want you to stay.
Man,
he was better, but
I was going to ask you to do it, and you just did it without me asking. I give you props.
I sing all the time.
Yeah, I know, but it is a public forum. It's not in a shower. So, so Sabian Williams came on the interview, and I told him about it.
Yes.
He didn't know about it.
He didn't know about the commercial?
He didn't know about the commercial, so he told me to send it to him. And I sent it to him, and he sent it to his D-line coach, not Horton or Hull. He sent it to Rick Courtwright, and they made him sing before practice. And, you know, Boogie's never going to disappoint. And it just was entertaining. And it just another way that social media is just connecting with the fans, that these guys, you know, it is a lot about football, obviously, and continuing their dreams, but they're connecting on a different level this year than they were last year. And I just love to see it. So I'm partial to it because I love Boogs, but I just thought it was rather entertaining.
Yeah, it was a very Boogie thing to do. And it's something that I would definitely do back when I was in football or something. Boogie gives off real best friend vibes. I feel like both you and I feel that. It was super fun. I loved watching that video. It was cool. He even stopped for a second and jumped back in. He went hard on it, and he didn't care if he didn't sound fantastic. It was a fun time. It just looked like a fun training camp.
So to go back to my grandmother's story, twice is nice, right? I got a double ride here.
Okay.
So Sabian Williams is my ride because he didn't tell Boogie that I gave his secret out. So I talked to Boogie, and I was like, "Oh, great job singing," just joking around with him. He's like, "I don't know how they figured it out. Like, why did they bring it up randomly?" And I just felt, and Sabian Williams is a ride guy because he didn't rat me out. So I got to give him a little shout out there.
Okay. And for anybody who wants to see that interview, go check out this week's episode of Hammer Time. You did like a mixture of a solo spliced in with an interview with Sabian Williams. It's a cool episode. It's a first time. We haven't really done anything like that on the network. So everybody go check out that Hammer Time. That was a good time.
Definitely.
Hammer Time.
Ready for your ride?
I'm ready for my ride. My ride is the YouTube channel support. This is not even super football related. This is just our channel related. Thank you, everybody. We decided that we wanted to centralize all of our videos. We wanted to centralize all our shows. It would make it easier for production. It would make it easier for analytics and figuring out what you like, what you don't like, how many views something gets, if we should do something, or if, you know, it's not worth it. And you guys have just resoundingly supported us, and I absolutely love it. Thank you so much. Our subscribers are going up every day. When we hit 1,000, someone gets a signed Cavante Turpin Cowboys jersey. You guys have just been super supporting, and I could not thank you enough. So that's my ride this week, because we had a big spike in subscribers, and it just means a lot to me because we put a lot of work into this for literally zero money. So to get, you know, some kind of feedback that we're doing it well means a lot.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's awesome to see because like people are leaving comments now and everything. And I'm just excited to see our network growing even more. So
yeah, the more comments we get is super cool. I like that we get comments. To the gentleman, I believe his name is Xander, asks about Alex Magoo and Carson Strong. I promise, we're trying. Those are two people that are specifically hard to get in contact with. So we're trying, but I promise as soon as we get them, we'll let you know.
Definitely.
Yes.
All right, my die.
What is it?
Camp is going by too fast, man.
Really fast.
Like we're only 17 days away, 16 days away.
17.
It's 16 by the time this episode comes out.
Yes.
And it's flying by. Like I remember us doing the 100-day countdown, and now it's going by so fast. And That's my only regret for this week is that the camp speed is just too fast for us.
It is going incredibly fast. And yeah, the countdown, I can't believe that we've kept up with it or that I've kept up with it doing the graphics. Today was Anthony Ratliff Williams of the Houston Gamblers, the returning receptions leader. And the Gamblers actually posted a video of him catching a ball, and they said 17 days till kickoff. I love it. They're, kind of rolling with it. You've seen some other people do similar things. I like the countdown. It's given me something to look forward to every day, and hopefully other people as well. But it is, suddenly we're in the teens, and I couldn't believe it.
Definitely. What's your die, man?
My die is the scrimmages and the access to it. So the scrimmages are really cool. You have the Birmingham Stallions and I believe the New Orleans Breakers are both traveling to Memphis this weekend to play the Gamblers and the Showboats in 2 days of scrimmages. That is a great thing that if you could have fans in the stands, just open to the public, something. It would drum up a lot of hype for fans, and especially in Memphis, that you have 4 of the teams there that are doing scrimmages. And it's nothing. It's incredibly barred off, high security. I get it. I really do. But I think that they're missing a bit of an opportunity to build a fan base and help bring more people in for week 1.
I definitely agree. You went to Baylor. I don't know if they kind of ran the spring game.
Yeah, the spring game you could go.
It's free, right?
Tickets. Yeah, you could get a ticket. It was free. And you could go, and there was tailgating, and it's a fun time. Yeah. So I think they could have handled it like a spring game, whereas now it's kind of a closed off, nobody's allowed in type of thing.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I believe that they could have built, especially in the Memphis, Canton, and Detroit, even if you gave away free tickets just to get people into the building, get them excited, then you can kind of get them to commit to maybe tickets because they're like, oh, it's only an hour and a half from Pittsburgh. I can make the trip 6 times this year. I really enjoyed it. The players and the coaches were accessible for the fans, the kids, the youth camps, all this kind of stuff. I just think it would be another notch in the belt if the league made this a little bit more accessible.
I agree. I do think it's funny you mentioned that Canton is only an hour and a half from Pittsburgh. And you had told me this week, you said it's better that you guys, the Gamblers, are in Memphis because it's closer to Houston than Birmingham was last year. And I had to let you know, yes, while Birmingham is 10 hours from Houston, Memphis is only 9 hours from Houston. So we are still nowhere near our fan base. But heck, I'm pushing through. And once we finally are in Houston, man, everybody's going to know about the Gamblers. It's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, you're one of the teams that when you
Tough
get to, but when you get to the city, I think you'll be appreciated a little bit more. Bigger fan base, it'll grow.
Houston is a big football town. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll see. People talk about, maybe they'll move the Gamblers or something because of, there's the 3-letter team there. We didn't have a good season 1. Who knows? But there's a lot of cities in Texas that they could go to. El Paso. So we'll see what they do.
Fair enough. Ready to be blindsided?
I guess.
It's coming low. All right.
That was a funny one. All right. So each week we are going back and forth where we have a blindside question where the other person has 0 preparation for it. They do not know what question is coming. Usually I come up with it right before I ask Webb when it's my turn. So last week was my turn. This week it's Webb's turn. Webb, what's your blindside question for me?
This isn't as vicious as we've gone down this path of blindsides. What's that?
You've come pretty hard before, but all right.
This one's not. I want to know. I want you to put on your GM hat, your Bob Morris hat, your Lonnie Young, your Zach Potter, right? I want to know what is the better way to construct a team in the USFL, through the draft or by trying to get guys that are they want to stick in the NFL. They've been moving around practice squad, not a lot of game film. Or do you go through the draft like the Maulers kind of have the last 2 moves? Actually, So they've made 4 moves. 2 of them were NFL players, former NFL players, recently NFL players, and
Yes.
2 of them were the draft. So which way would you prefer that the Gamblers or your team, Team Ace, would build? Would it build through the draft or not?
So a collegiate draft to build a team, or just straight signing free agents?
Yep. In the USFL. In the USFL.
In the USFL. No, I know. In the USFL. Free agents. I think free agents. I get it. And I mean, if it were feasible to get an entire team from a collegiate draft, say, 10 years down the road, the USFL has built more of a name for itself. Take that off. But say that the USFL has built a name for itself. Then it is easier for people to, justify in their head, oh, I'll go play in the USFL instead of the NFL. Maybe the money's better. Maybe there's better coverage. More people know about it. I think that then it is much more feasible to have a collegiate draft. But for right now, I think the best way is free agents. And that's why they did it. And also, it's more fun to interview those guys because they've been through it. They've been through a bunch of spring leagues, Europe, all that cool stuff. I love hearing it. So I'd go with the free agents.
All right. I guess I didn't blind you too much because you got that answer pretty good right off the bat.
Not too bad. Yeah, I just know what I'm doing.
I would completely disagree.
You say collegiate draft.
Okay. I would 100% collegiate draft. I think if you look at 2 years, instead of getting guys like Kyle Sloter that have been in the NFL a bunch of times, I'd rather try to get guys that are trying to make it there for the first or second time, and try to get another shot. And they're not sitting on practice squads doing, they're practicing, but they're actually getting game footage. And I just like building through the draft. If you can get 10 players from this draft that are on your team right now with guys from the NFL, I guess it's a mix is my actual answer. Where I
would love that. And I do agree. I would love to see new quarterbacks, right? It is a little annoying that it's like each iteration of a spring league, you see the Luis Perez, Jordan Ta'amu, Kyle Sloter, you see the same dudes. Like they even got Quentin Flowers in the 3-letter league now. So that's another one from the original or 2.0. I would like to see, the guy from Incarnate Word, Chase Bryce, Martinez. I would love to see those guys come in and kind of build a name for themselves and then maybe elevate to the NFL. That would be a better story. It would be easier to get behind those guys than the same guys that you see every time.
Keel Glass is the name that comes to mind.
Keel Glass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even a guy like Terry Wilson, right?
Oh, dude. Yeah. Talk about a guy. He's barely has gotten a shot in the NFL. He, had a COVID year, went to New Mexico to show that he was a passer. He got into the Dallas Cowboys training camp, but not much of a look because it's Dallas Cowboys. That's a hard place to try and get on a team unless you're Kevontae Turpin and one of the greatest returners. So, yes, if he can get the starting position, that's the kind of guy that you can get behind. Everybody needs to go watch my interview with him. What a fantastic gentleman. But yeah, those are the kind of people I want to get behind, not kind of the 30-year-old quarterback who's been in 4 different spring leagues.
Yeah.
I enjoy those guys. Kyle Sloter, he's a friend of the show, or not the show, but the network, his fiance. I like those guys, but I do want to see new faces. I want to see new people come and improve themselves.
Definitely. And that's the whole reason why the MBT, I know he's a new face. That's the reason why I was kind of against the move, because I agree with you. Like, I'd rather see the Lindsey Scotts or the Chase Bryces get an opportunity than the older guys. It's not to say they can't play. It just that's my idea for the USFL. So
same.
All right, man. KB, how do you do? KB?
Fantastic as always.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. For anybody who doesn't know, KB is my future mother-in-law come November 5th. But the last thing we have to talk about is make sure you go subscribe to the USFL Network YouTube page. If you're watching this, all you got to do is click on the little thing, go to our page, hit subscribe, and you are automatically entered to our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. When we hit 1,000 subscribers, one of the random subscribers will get a Kevontae Turpin signed Cowboys jersey. I got it. It's here in my house. It's in a bag. It's protected, but that bag's collecting dust. I want to mail it out. Go subscribe. Let's hit 1,000. Let's get that out of my house. not a Cowboys fan. So let's do it.
All right, man. Well, next week, do it again.
Yes, sir.
As we get down to like the final 10 days.
Oh, it's crazy. All right. Well, as always, it's been a pleasure. KB, send us out.
KB?